Hey guys, over here for our Wheels in Japan playlist. So first a little bit of background. About 3 years ago I was driving down this busy road here and I needed to turn left up ahead to get into a place I was trying to get to. So I turned this corner here, and as I turned the corner I saw the don't enter and the one-way signs, but it was a bit too late because there were a couple of cars behind me moving very quickly. So I continued round the corner, and unfortunately the car 2 cars back was actually a police car. So, and two very polite old Japanese policemen got out of their car and wrote me a ticket. Fair enough. Unfortunately, this is only about 20 metres of one-way street, and then from that corner that you can see there, it's actually two-way. So it's only this end of the street is one way. But doesn't matter, I broke the rule, so I got a penalty. Fair enough. So I had to pay a fine and I lost some points off my license. So 3 years later, I've just got a notice to say that my 5-year license has expired or about to expire, and I need to go and renew it. So off to the police station. So a policeman standing outside the police station with a jaw, with a stick, is quite a common sight. They quite often do that. Don't know why. It's just what they do. So off to the police station to renew the license. So the license that I have is a blue one. So the first one you get when you're a beginner is a green one, and then if you can manage to hold on to that long enough, you'll get given a blue one, and if you can not get any penalties for 5 years, you'll get a gold one. So unfortunately I haven't managed to get to the gold one because I got my penalty. So that's happened a couple of times. So I've been stuck on blue for quite some time. So off to the police station, and this particular police station's got a little room here for renewing licenses. So typical Japanese style, very efficient. It's like a production line. So you go in on the left there through the entrance, and you take a number, and pretty much straight away they give you a form, fill out the form, you do an eye check, you have to test your eyes, and then pay some money, and they take the photo and they print your license, and then you've got your license. And then they say, if you haven't had any penalties, you go to another little room in there and you sit and watch a video for 30 minutes, a safety video for 30 minutes, and then they hand you your license and off you go. If you've had minor penalties, you have to go on another day, you have to go to a 1-hour safety lecture. And if you've had some serious penalties in that time, so you haven't lost your license, but you've had some serious penalties for more serious offences, you know, speeding or red lights or something, then you have to go to a 2-hour lecture. So in my case, I had my one transgression, which wasn't considered to be an extremely bad one, so I have to go off and do the 1-hour safety lecture. So it's sort of an additional penalty, really. But anyway, so paid the money for the license, paid the money for the safety lecture, and then they said, would you like to pay another 700 yen, which is about $7, to go for the safety community or the some safety thing, right? And it's optional, right? So yeah, everyone was paying the 700 yen, so I paid it too. In return, I got this little holder that can put my license in, and a little packet of tissues. So a bit of pressure there. We get a lot of things like that here where you're asked to voluntarily give money, and everybody does. So you got to sort of do it. There's a bit of social pressure there. So I walked out of that place with my old license. They kept my new license, and this is 1 week later, and this is another building, and you sit there and they've got this playing. This is sort of just getting ready for the thing to start. And then the most boring policeman in Aichi stands up and drones on. They give you 2 books that are 180 pages between them, and he just drones on, and you're supposed to follow what he's saying in the book, read the book yourself. And a lot of the people weren't even looking at the book. There was a few that were sleeping. It's sort of pretty obvious it's sort of a penalty as well. And it's hard to imagine it doing much good because safety conscious people are already safety conscious, and those that aren't just aren't. Disappointingly too, the thing we've showed you the most, that we see here the most, that we think is one of the most dangerous things, is people talking on the phone or using their phones while they're driving. And that was mentioned for about 10 seconds in the 1 hour lecture. It got about 10 seconds where, and we shouldn't use our phones when we're driving the car. And there's a penalty of $1,000 or whatever it was. And that was it. and didn't really stress why or stress it at all. So it was sort of, most of it was stuff you already know. They give you a little number here, and the idea is if you sit through the whole lecture to the end, you go and give them that number. Or as you check in, you give them your old license, and at the end, you hand them that number, they give you your new license, which means they take your license off you when you walk into this room, so you don't have a driver's license anymore. So you've got to sit through this lecture till the end and then give them that number, and then they'll give you a new license. So they've sort of got you. They've got you. You must go to this lecture or you won't have a license. So it's pretty clever. So yeah, just showing you how much paper there is. So remember we laughed at the idea the Japanese government's been talking about going paperless. So 180 pages, and you know it's going to get thrown in the rubbish by everybody. No one's going to take it home and read it. So everyone in this room had 180 pages of paper that all got thrown away. So far from paperless. So anyway, I got through to the end without dying of boredom. Given the license, yay. Oh, you're not allowed to smile when they take your license photo. They make you tilt your head down and not smile, which gives us all a good criminal look, particularly that old dude. That's pretty disturbing, isn't it? So how effective is the safety thing? At the end of the thing, we went outside. One of the guys that was sitting behind me got on his bicycle, got out his phone and rode away looking at his phone. Right. So it appears the safety lecture had no effect on him. As mentioned before, that's illegal in Japan. But yeah, safety lecture didn't affect him at all. Anyway, there was that. More videos coming soon.